Okay, I'm back. I'm thinking of sort of more interesting ways that I can build this Contemptor Dreadnought. So I put him together in a very standard way for my how to assemble him video, but I don't really like his standard leg positioning very downwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a bit more of a dynamic leg. So what I've done is I've actually separated out his leg components again, and I'm going to start thinking about how I want to piece them together. Now, I've been playing around, and I think obviously I want him to have one leg raised, ready to basically empty a gun. There's no other way to put it. It's empty his gun out. Now, I was looking very carefully about the way that this is set up, and to be quite honest, the positioning of everything, it's actually going to be really easy to play around and put it into a different position. If I just very quickly put these together in a new setup, a new layout. So we've got that. And then if I quite simply do it like that, I can actually get a more dynamic layout with a bent knee, which I think is going to look so much better. So that when he's all together, he should have it 1 foot up on something, and then I'll be able to reposition his head, and I might even twist the body as well. I might detach the body and retwist the body and have him. So just to start off with, I'm going to basically re-glue all of the stuff that I've just separated out, but this time I'm going to reposition it all. I was also thinking as part of the process whether or not I would maybe magnetise the legs, but I've decided against it because I wanted to get him into a static pose. So I've got to decide how far I really want that. So to be quite honest, it does fit rather neatly like that, and I do think I like the idea of it being slightly raised, and then gonna pop the kneecap back on. Again, it sits nicely like that, and then I'm gonna reattach the other side of the armour, and there we go. We can see now it just kind of fits back together quite nicely, you know, there's no problems. I didn't want to do this during the initial build when I was showing off how to build them, because obviously, you know, not everyone might feel confident to just start playing around with leg positioning. But definitely I think like that, and I'm going to have it kind of slightly pointing outwards, so that when I reposition the body, it'll feel a bit more braced. Now I don't want it too far out, to be quite honest. I don't want it ridiculously far out. I still want it to feel like this is quite a hefty machine. And the other thing is, it's about thinking about what kind of structure he's going to be standing with one leg up on as well. So I think like that. And as you can see, he's got a kind of slight incline then with his legs. And then I think my next aim will be to try and get the body off. So while that's drying, I'm going to try and very gently work the body off. So there we go. What I've done is I've separated out the body as well. Now, I also kind of feel that I could probably do with getting the head, but I think unfortunately I might have glued that in far too well. It's a shame, but maybe it'll work when I've repositioned the body. So what I'm going to do with this body reposition now, again, I want it to kind of be looking more down the leg now, so slightly twisted. Then obviously that head positioning might not be as important now. The problem is I've got to make sure that this guy dries in exactly the position that I want. Tell this is going to be fun trying to get this to dry exactly in the position that I want it to. There we go. So he's starting now to kind of get a nice repositioning. If I look on him, he's not quite pointing the direction I want to. It's always a good idea to look at them from all different positions. So really kind of look at him from above, from the front, from behind. Because you really want him to be looking, you know, where it's sensible. Yeah, so definitely that. The other thing is make sure that the body doesn't look too far bent backwards. But yeah. So if I use my knife there, let's see if I can use my knife as a... This is kind of, yeah, and his body's a bit too bent back there, isn't it? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold him like that. So I'm holding his foot down there. Yeah, do you know what? I think that is the position I definitely want him to dry in. So he's kind of looking down that leg now. The big thing is now is trying to keep him in exactly the position I want him to stay in while he dries up, which is obviously the biggest issue here. Because as you can see, he's going to feel inclined to sort of slide and reposition. I'll find if I can find something better than that to hold him onto. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a bit too tall for what I'm going for. Let's see if I can find something that's probably a bit better for him to stand on. I think something nice and level. But on top of that, something that doesn't tilt his leg and his body into the wrong position. Yeah, you can actually feel really where no, it's just a matter of getting him to stay exactly where I want him to stay while he dries, so he doesn't kind of slump or fall back into a place that I don't like. And I think that's my main aim now. So what I might need to do is I might need to grab hold of one of my best friends. He's a little bit of blue tack. Let's see if I can blue tack him. There we go. Right, and I'm going to leave him like that now. I'll just very gently. I don't normally like taking my camera off like the angle that I've set it at here, because obviously you might see my hideous mess of an office. But you can see here I've kind of nicely repositioned him. I've given him a good blue tack, and you can see you can see the magnet that I put on before on my previous video about doing him. So yeah, I think he's sort of got the positioning that I'm happy with now, and I'll let him dry. And his head's not that bad actually. I was worried about it, but that's fine.